Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank. Busey, your dream, our promise. You're watching Spotlight, and joining me now, representing the Naperville Bicycle Club, are Daryl and Gan. So, awfully nice to have you here. Love the bright outfits. Those are great. We're going to see you on the road. Gan, I'm going to start with you. You recently joined the board of the Naperville Bicycle Club. So, tell me a little bit about the club.
Yeah, thank you for having me. And Naperville Bike Club has been in Naperville for many years, and I recently joined the board as an ad hoc member, and to contribute to more community riding and to make the club better and to have more members and more rides.
Okay, now talk a little. How did you come to the club?
So I moved to the States in 2011, and the first thing came to my mind was to join a bike club because I used to ride in Mongolia. So to spend my free time. So I joined the club and started riding with the members.
Okay, and pretty soon they were like, okay, we're going to get you on the board. That's how it works in Naperville. Be careful. Daryl, talk a little bit about the well-being benefits of bike riding, because I think, as we've gone through this last 2 years, a lot of people have taken up bike riding. So talk a little bit about that.
A lot of people have. The stores were very empty in 2020. Cycling is a great exercise not only for the body but for the mind, because you're outdoors, you're in nature, you're getting physical activity. One of the things that a lot of people like is the fact that it's a low impact. So folks that we even had a person on an e-bike ride with us because they had recently had hip surgery and they were literally recovering, but they could still ride. Whereas you wouldn't be able to run or play basketball. So, and being outdoors, and there's also that camaraderie with people, right? We always are riding as a group when we have the events. There's at least 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 people on a ride. So all of those things together really are that physical, mental balance that just improves your health tremendously.
Okay, about how many members do you have?
We're currently sitting at not quite 100 members.
Okay.
About 2/3 of those we call primary members, because a fair amount is a household membership.
Okay.
So we do have, a very discounted household membership program as well.
Okay.
So there's a lot of secondary members that are spouses, children, adult children, whatever.
Okay, so it runs the gamut. So you've got a broad age range, I would assume then.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Gan, I know one of the things that you talk about and wanting to get involved with is to get the Bicycle Club involved with the community. So talk a little bit about how the Bicycle Club has been involved with the community and what kinds of projects you've been doing there.
So I, for example, ride for American Lung Association, American Diabetes Association, and Multiple Sclerosis Society. So these organizations held rides once a year, and the riders have to raise funds in order to participate in those rides. So I've been doing a couple of rides, in many years in the past, and so by riding for these societies and associations, I send the message that these diseases can be cured, and we have to raise awareness among the public about the diseases and how it can be prevented.
So you're really taking something that's a passion of yours in the riding that obviously benefits you, as Daryl just said. It benefits you sort of mind and body, but you're applying that to better good for other people, right?
Yeah. So yeah, it's I'm contributing to the society, and not only just ride for fun of it, but also to help educate more people about the diseases and how it can be prevented, and so it's more like a financial support to these organizations,
Absolutely.
by raising
Absolutely.
funds,
Yeah, well, either, and a lot of organizations have runs and a lot do have bike rides. So and it is a good way because I think people really like to come out for those kinds of things. So it's a benefit. Daryl, what other kinds of activities does the club do?
Well, we will participate this year in the Naperville Rotary Ride. We'll bring
Okay.
a team to that. Other than that, we try to have a lot of diversity in rides. There'll be some fast rides. Every Sunday afternoon, for example, we do a 1 hour, very, very slow ride around Springbrook Prairie.
Oh, okay, nice.
Because the Naperville Bicycle Club did for a while have a reputation of being very fast riders because we do have some amazing people.
Who can ride
but
pretty fast?
who can ride fast, but there's so many people that just want to take a leisurely ride. So we'll be riding at like 8-9 miles an hour around
Perfect,
Springbrook.
just my speed. Okay, great.
Yeah, it's great. And the Saturday morning coffee ride to Oswego, which is moderate. And then, of course, all the events where we'll have a real diversity of people out because all these events have different distances
Sure.
and speeds.
So now, okay, so if I join the bicycle club, is there like a list of rides? So do you have like a schedule that I would then look at and say, okay, well, I'm kind of that Springbrook slower person rider that, I'm not really out there to beat a world record. I just really want to get out and I want to enjoy myself going riding. How does somebody find out about that?
We have a website.
Okay, awesome.
Shocking, right?
Yeah, shocking, right?
And on that website, prominent on the main page is the ride calendar.
Okay.
And the ride calendar specifies where the starting point, date, time, starting point, and speed.
Okay, so I can judge. I'm not going to
Right.
find myself out there and suddenly realize that I'm 2
Right.
miles behind everybody else.
Right.
Okay. Do you ride all year?
Some people do.
Okay.
I have an indoor trainer, for example, so I technically ride all year
But not outside.
as an exercise. But in terms of outdoors, there's some hardy folks out there.
Okay. So the club, kind of goes for a long
Yeah.
period of time, but you can.
Yeah, and during those times, we'll do things like, the last couple years kind of disrupted schedules.
Sure.
But in the winter, we try to have maybe a speaker come in.
Okay.
We might have a movie night.
Okay.
Well, we've got about lists of about 20 different bicycle-oriented movies.
Nice.
And then we'll hold those at a local business, usually one of our sponsors.
Okay.
So
So there are
stuff
things
like that.
kind of happening throughout the year.
there's things that are happening all throughout the year. When we did the kickoff this year, we did a lunch outdoors, again, near one of our sponsors in South
Okay.
Naperville. And it's a lot of social activity, a lot of friends, a lot of camaraderie.
It's all about the well-being.
It is. It
Yeah,
really is.
it all comes back to that,
It really
right?
is all about well-being.
Gian, as you sort of look out to the future of the club, what are you most focused on?
So I'm more focused on increasing membership and having more rides, led by riders who are new to the club as well as old to the club. And contributing more to the society. Not only riding for fun, but for other these organizations, and having more riders join these organized rides.
Okay, I like that. It's kind of like cycle for fun and for charity, right?
Yes.
A little bit, yeah. Excellent. Well, listen, thank you so much for stopping by. We really appreciate it. And if you're interested in learning more about the Naperville Bicycle Club, please go and visit their website. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We're coming right back with more Spotlight.
For more than 150 years, you've believed in Busey. Today, more than ever, we believe in you. To our healthcare workers, first responders, and local businesses, you're central to the communities we're proud to call home. Busey's grateful to partner with you and your families through life's ups and downs, today and for generations to come. Because as neighbors helping neighbors, we're in this together. Busey, grateful to serve the communities we call home.
We live in a safe community, but not a crime-free community. If you see something, say something. Be a Naperville Crime Stopper.
If you're just tuning in, you're watching Spotlight. I'm your host, Jane Wernette, and joining me now from Catholic Charities are Amy LaFauce and Amy Lambert. So I have two amazing Amy's with me today. So excited to talk to you both. I'm going to start out with you, Amy LaFauce. We're going to talk a little bit about what does Catholic Charities do in Dupage County?
Sure, we do a whole lot. In Dupage County, we provide assistance to people who are low income, who are at risk of becoming homeless, or who already are homeless. And so we have our basic needs services, which falls under our emergency services programs, where we can provide food vouchers, transportation passes, we provide referrals for furniture and clothing. We also provide prescription assistance. And then within that program, we also have homeless prevention and rapid rehousing services. And so they kind of are what they sound like. So homeless prevention is that, it's preventing people from becoming homeless. So if somebody has some kind of an emergency where they find themselves unable to pay their rent, they would contact us and we can see about helping them catch up on their rent so that they don't have to become homeless. And then rapid rehousing is where we can help with a security deposit and a rental payment, usually the first month's rent, to help get somebody who's already homeless into housing quickly.
Okay.
We also have programs that are supportive housing programs. And so those are geared at families who are homeless and have at least one dependent child. And we put them up in apartment units throughout Dupage County, and we provide intensive wraparound case management services, really with the goal of that family obtaining income, obtaining employment, paying off debt, increasing their savings, all in hopes that they exit the program and they are self-sufficient and they don't need our help anymore.
Yeah,
It's
a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. We also have an immigrant support program, which is fairly new over the past several years. And that program, we provide advocacy and direct financial assistance to individuals and families who are undocumented. We also provide community outreach and engagement to churches, schools, libraries, whoever's looking to have, some kind of outreach event.
Okay. That's a lot of stuff.
It is. We are busy.
Yeah, you are. And a lot of prevention. I think that's so important, right? It's the ounce of prevention versus a pound of cure. If you can stop somebody from falling into homelessness,
yes.
Not only is that better for the family, but financially that's better, right?
Right. And with the pandemic, the past couple of years, the numbers of people calling for homeless prevention type services have really truly skyrocketed. Same with food assistance and now gas assistance.
Yeah, yes, the cost of gas is kind of, it's scary.
It's
scary, particularly for those who are right on the border of,
Yes.
of really having some problems.
People find themselves having to make a choice sometimes between paying their rent and getting food for their family.
Yeah.
And so that's where we kind of come in to try to help bridge that gap. And provide them with other resources that are in the area, to help make sure they can make ends meet.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Amy Lambert, talk a little bit about the Back to School Fair, because this is a big program for you and you're putting a lot of energy into it. So explain to the viewers what that's all about.
Of course, my pleasure. So this year marks the 31st year of Catholic Charities hosting the annual Dupage County Back to School Fair for all of our families here within Dupage County that need a little extra hand to foster a successful start to school in the new year. This year, the fair will operate again as a drive-through model. Being after following COVID and during COVID now, we're having to operate a little bit differently than what we have in the past. However, during this year, the Back to School Fair will allow for families to drive up who have pre-registered and receive a backpack, school supplies, along with other resources, including food assistance until supplies run out this year. So we're really excited to have the families come.
Yeah, now where is that going to take place?
This year, the fair is actually going to take place on August the 10th at the Dupage County Fairgrounds in Wheaton.
Okay, so you've got a nice big space to get people in and through. How would a parent or a caregiver register for that, Amy?
Absolutely. We would invite them to go out to our website, the Catholic Charities Diocese of Joliet website, and there they will find a link to pre-register for the fair this year.
Okay, and I'm assuming no cost, right?
No cost.
Right, and is there, do they come at a certain time? Is there like time windows that people are coming through, or how does that work?
Yes, great question. So this year the fair will operate from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. So during that time, if you are pre-registered and have received confirmation, you're invited to come out during that time.
Okay, wonderful. Well, that sounds great. And it's such an important, I mean, that first day of school is so exciting, but it's only exciting if you've got what you need, as you put it, to be successful, right? So for those kids that, you know, otherwise would not have it, what a great service. Yeah. Talk a little bit, and you know, you talked about some of the services that you offer. How would somebody that finds themselves, you know, worrying about the next rent payment or having to make really tough choices about gas versus food, how would they access and get engaged with you, Amy, at Catholic Charities?
Yeah, so they would give us a call, and we would then connect them with one of our case managers. And we would bring them in for a one-on-one appointment where that case manager would do a needs assessment and really, you know, get an idea of the picture of the whole family and what their various needs are. Oftentimes we find that if somebody needs food, there might be another area that they're also in need of that maybe they just didn't say when they called us. So once we do that needs assessment, we might also have an application depending on what kind of help that we're providing. And we'll also do some screening for other types of resources like mainstream benefits.
Okay.
So if somebody's in need of food assistance, we will also make sure that they're getting SNAP benefits so that they can, you know, get that monthly SNAP amount and purchase food for their family. If they don't have those already when they come to us, we will help them fill out an application for assistance.
Yeah, and I think that's something that's so important, right? It's that, you know, oftentimes you're working with families that, you know, by no fault of their own, just suddenly find themselves in a time of trouble, right? So it's not like that information was something that they already, you know, had sitting on the kitchen table. I mean, they don't know what those resources are, and that's really one of the key things that you're providing, right?
It is, and that's one thing we very much provide is resources. So oftentimes people might be leaving with a food voucher or a gas voucher, but also they're leaving with many resources, you know, food pantries that are in the area, hopefully ones that are close to their home where they live, you know, various resources throughout Dupage County.
Okay. Now, how can people contact you? If they find themselves in that situation, how do they contact you?
Sure, they can contact us by calling us at our office in Downers Grove. Our phone number is 630-495-8008. And if they don't feel comfortable calling us, they can also email us at info@cc-doj.org. If they want to learn a little bit more about Catholic Charities, they can take a look at our website.
Okay, I know you've got a very robust website with a lot of information there, so that's great. Thank you both so much for stopping by and giving us so much good information. We appreciate it, and we wish you all the best with the Back to School Fair. To find out more about Catholic Charities, we invite you to go and visit their website.
For more than 150 years, you've believed in Busey. Today, more than ever, we believe in you. To our healthcare workers, first responders, and local businesses, you're central to the communities we're proud to call home. Busey's grateful to partner with you and your families through life's ups and downs, today and for generations to come. Because as neighbors helping neighbors, we're in this together. Busey, grateful to serve the communities we call home.
Stay in the know at home or on the go with NCTV 17 News Update. This quick recap of everything happening in and around town will be delivered straight to your email inbox for free. Sign up today.
Welcome back to Spotlight. And joining me now from the Chinese American Women in Action, or CAWA for short, is Nancy Chen. Welcome to the show, Nancy.
Thank you, Jane. It's great to be here.
Very nice to have you. Now, you have been a resident for 50 years. Hard to believe that you're that old, but you've been here for 50 years. I'd love you to tell us a little bit about your experience here in Naperville and what led you to start this Chinese American Women's Organization.
Well, thanks for asking. Yes, this is my 50th year. My husband and I moved to Naperville in 1972, before our children were born. So I raised the 2 children, a girl and a boy, and we really felt very welcome when we came to this city. And at that time, actually our home was surrounded by cornfields. And of course, this is very different now. Naperville now has 22% of Asian population. When we moved here in 1972, there were hardly 10 Asian and Chinese families here.
Wow,
yes.
That's big growth, isn't it?
Yes, big growth. But I felt very comfortable. My neighbors, the schools, they all welcome us, and I participate in the Home and School Association and eventually becoming the president of the Home and School Association at BB Elementary School, where my children attended. So even in 1979, I organized a Asian American Heritage Week proclaimed by President Carter. And we had a cultural exhibit at the old Nichols Library. Some of the audience may remember that little library. And we had a demonstration on calligraphy, brushing paintings, and also some of the cultural artifacts exhibits. So it was wonderful. So what I meant is that we really felt very welcomed. And this is when my children grew up here, went to public schools here. My son is in California now. My daughter moved back to Naperville.
Oh, nice.
And this is how much it means, for us. Now my granddaughter's here. Actually, she's attending the Jefferson Junior High. So we are 3 generations in Naperville.
Wonderful.
And so when things happened during the pandemic, there was a racial incident that there was a Chinese American man that was yelled at and threw sticks at and telling him to go back to China. And then there was another woman who actually made really derogatory remarks at the city council meeting. I really felt, people don't recognize that we are Americans. The Chinese American residents here are Americans. We're not foreigners. And so with also across the country that there's so much of the anti-Asian violence and racism, that a group of Chinese American women and I felt last year we decided that we need to come together. We need to come together to make positive change. And this is why this is a group of diverse Chinese American women with different professional backgrounds, different ages. We came together and formed CAWA. And CAWA is Chinese American Women in Action, basically to create positive change and ultimately to lead at all levels of our community and civic activities. And we want to work with government officials, civic leaders, business leaders, and to come together so that we can increase our visibility and then also to ultimately to receive the recognition and also the belonging, the sense of belonging that we really deserve.
Yeah, well, it's fascinating, Nancy, as I listen to you, because you'd already done all of that. You'd already stepped out, you'd already been a leader in your community, you'd already contributed greatly. So it's a shame that you're having to feel like you have to go back through that all. But good for you for starting something and bringing people together to try to find a positive way forward, right? So talk a little bit about CAWA. Is it just you've brought this group of women together? Are they all already leaders, or are they new folks? Are there people that are looking to get involved in the community? Give us a little bit of an understanding of that.
My board is a very dynamic board. It's very small. There are only 6 women, including myself. So it's a very small group. So we collectively come together with our different skills and experiences to work on CAWA. And what we wanted to do is to do the projects and programs that bring Chinese American women especially to say, we need to participate, we need to be part of the Naperville community and other local communities so that people can see, as I said, the sense of belonging is a two-way thing. You know, we want to feel we belong, but then other people have to recognize that
you
we
belong.
are part of that.
Because your issues are the same issues as everybody else's.
Exactly, yes.
Now you have an act, I want to make sure I get it right. You're looking to help the schools implement the TEACH Act, T-E-A-A-C-H Act. What is that all about? What is that law about, Nancy?
So this is really something that's very exciting. Last year, the Asian community came together with Asian American legislators, passed a law requiring the teaching of Asian American history at all Illinois public schools. This was signed by law by Governor Pritzker, and it's going to be implemented this fall at all Illinois public schools. And so this is one of our major projects to help out, to make sure that our local school district, District 203, 204, will have enough resources and understanding what kind of curriculums, because the law actually is pretty vague. It only says it requires the teaching of Asian American history with a unit of instruction. So it's really the interpretation is by all school district. What is a unit? And so what we wanted to do, we have already met with the 203, 204 school officials to let them know that we are here to help with resources. One of the things we're doing now is that rather than getting involved in the curriculum, what they do, but that's a school business, right? We are raising money to buy books, to donate it to the 2 public school districts so that students and teachers will have extra resources for the books, you know, on Asian American contributions, about our history, and about our experiences. And we are working in partnership with Anderson Bookshop. So there's a wonderful display at Anderson Bookshop, and we just launched our GoFundMe drive yesterday, and the response has been really terrific.
I love that. And I love what you say, and it's so often, it's the school's job to do their job, and this is how we're coming alongside. So kudos to you for that. I love that. As we're wrapping up, Nancy, what's been the response in the community to CAWA so far?
The response has been really overwhelming. For example, our kickoff event on May 9th, and you were probably going to be seeing some of the footage. I was surprised. We had 90 people come into our event. Lots of local elected officials, city council members, state representatives, state senator Laura Almond, and business leaders, and of course, Chinese American community leaders. And so the reception was really a huge success. And also, we have been getting donations, you know, for the book drive.
Yep.
And people wanted to help. And for example, Naperville Bank wants to partner with us to see how they can help. And other civic leaders are paying attention to us. So the response not only is great from our own community, it's really great from the Naperville community.
The larger community,
Yes.
which is the goal that you have in the first place, right?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. Nancy, thank you so much for coming by and sharing some information about your new organization. We wish you all the best. It's a tremendous initiative, and we're sure with you at the helm, it will be successful.
Thank you.
Yeah. If you would like to learn more information about CAWA, please go and visit their website. I'd like to thank all of my guests for joining us on Spotlight. To learn more about the organizations featured on today's episode, please visit our website at nctv17.com. Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank. Busey, your dream, our promise.